Okay, after my little journey to the other side of looking at games that weren't Commodore 64 games, let's go back to the Commodore 64, and next up I'm going to look at a re-release on the Mastertronic packaging, and it's called Alcazar. Here's the front cover of the box then, and as you can see, this is Alcazar. Got a rather fearsome looking gentleman with a sword there, and also some various items, rope and some kind of pot and a skull there. Not quite sure what it all means yet, but we'll soon find out. This is one of those games that's there's only 3 or 4 games in this kind of packaging. It's got the Mastertronic logo in the white flash across the bottom, and on the spine you can see it's just got the white flash again and a little red bit at the top, and otherwise it's an all black spine with the logo on, of course, of the game. And on the back cover got some screenshots as you'd expect. Looks like kind of overhead view adventure game, and there's also some kind of a map there, and we've got a bit of introduction to the game. Explore castles, combat demons and collect the tools needed to secure the throne of Alcazar. Not for the faint-hearted. Inside, usual kind of stuff as you'd expect by now. Loading instructions, introduction to the game, how to play by moving the joystick, etc. Various things you can pick up, items and so on, weapons. Tells you a little bit about the enemies and things that you should be wary of, and more information about where to start the game, how to start the game I should say. Yeah, loads of stuff there, loads more stuff, lots of information, lots of instructions, all exciting stuff. And one thing I hadn't mentioned is I did say this was a re-release. It's a re-release of an Activision game, as a lot of the Mastertronic games were. And finally we've got this section on the back which we've seen before, which is pretty much irrelevant now since you're not going to want to send your Commodore 64 game ideas into Mastertronic, especially as they don't exist anymore. So there you go. Okay, so here's the title screen. No music on the title screen, but it's quite a nice one nonetheless. As you can see, you've got the sort of walls of one of the castles that you're about to walk through, and it says Alcazar, and it's by Tom Loffrey and copyright 1985 Activision. And it's got, you can choose your difficulty level by pressing the F2. So there's 4 different difficulty levels which basically give you a different number of lives and a different number of guns. More on that in a minute. We'll start with difficulty level easy, number 1, and then you press F1 to start. And you're presented with this map and some nice background music to get you in the mood. And this little dot here is you on the map. So you've got a choice of where you can go. You can go in a blue castle, or a grey castle, or indeed, to start with, a purple castle. So the idea of the game is to get from this side of the map to this side of the map. That's Alcazar, and that's where your aim is to get to. So you've got to basically adventure your way through the different castles and find your way to Alcazar, and then try and take the throne of Alcazar. So we'll start off by going the most direct route we can, which looks to be this red one. So you materialise in the castle and you get an overhead view as shown on the screenshots on the back of the screen. Up here you've got the item that's in your hand, which is obviously a gun, and that's got 6 bullets. Also in your pockets you can carry up to 3 items, which have also got 2 guns, each with 6 bullets. There's various things that can do odd stuff to you within the castle. One of them is these giant magic carpets, which if you walk to them teleport you somewhere else. And that was a fly buzzing around. So now you can see on the bottom of the screen two little sort of floor maps, if you like. The white bits are the floors that have been discovered, the green bits are the bits to be discovered, and you've got two floors in each castle. So that's the ground floor and that's the upper floor. So the idea is to wander around and find your way out of the castle and maybe find some useful objects on the way. If you hold down the fire button, you do get a map, and the useful thing about the map is you can see the exits of the castle. So I look to be aiming to either the top left or the bottom right of the castle to try and get out again. So I'll have a wander around. There's various nasty things around the castle. They're all denoted by something in an adjoining room, and what you can see if you look closely at the flames here is that sometimes they flash black, and what that means is that in one of the adjoining rooms is a bottomless pit, but it's not that way, so it might be this way. No, maybe not. Obviously it's somewhere else. That didn't really work. It's a very good demonstration. What is in this room is a spider, so we'll get rid of him and see what else we can discover. Right, so there's a staircase which goes down to the first floor, but we may as well, sorry, the ground floor, but we may as well have a wander around this room first. Okay, so in this room you can hear a buzzing noise, which means that in one of the adjoining rooms there's a fly, and there he is. Or it is. I'll just zap him. If you stand still and press the fire button, you get to switch between what weapon or item is in your hand. So I'll just pick up this oil because it might be useful later, and then go back to the gun. Oh, and I've come out of the castle there, and that doesn't serve me any great purpose. So I'm going to go back in and carry on exploring the red castle. So there's another noise there of something adjoining. I can't remember what that is. There's some kind of fire demon thing, I can't remember what it's called, which I think you can kill by throwing oil at it. So just in case it's that, I'm going to change to oil. Yeah, there we go, got it. As you can see, there's a score in the bottom right hand side of the screen. There's also something accumulating there. I'm not quite sure what that is. It didn't say in the instructions. So as you've already seen, different kinds of items can be used to get rid of different kinds of creatures. I'll continue having a wander around. There's another gun, so I'll take that while we're there. Ah, there's the bottomless pit I was talking about. I went through all the possible doors other than the one that it was through, so we don't want to fall down that, so we'll go a different way. As you can see, there's a lot of empty rooms. May as well replenish the bullets a bit more there while I can. So it is not that exciting at times, but there are some interesting places that you can go and visit throughout each of the castles. Different things to find. So I'm going to go and carry on investigate the ground floor. So my exploration of the Red Castle is continuing, and I'm going to put the water in my hand because I've just encountered this G, which is a genie lamp, and the best way to kill a genie is to throw a bucket of water at it, it seems, because that gets it straight away. That's also given me a key now that was being carried by the genie, so I'll just pick that up for later use. I've nearly finished exploring the castle. I was expecting to find a raft in here which will help me cross the water. I haven't seen that yet. I've only got one room left to go in, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Clearly, oh, I wasn't paying attention. That's what happens if you fall down the bottomless pit anyway. Clearly there isn't a raft in this castle after all, unless I'm missing something, so never mind. I won't worry about it too much, and I will make my way out of the castle and go to another one, and it's another red one. So it's much the same in each of the castles. You adventure your way through, and what I'm going to do is try and get a bit further in the game, and I'll just try and show you a few other interesting things that I find as I find them. So I'm now in a purple castle, and apart from being pursued by the world's slowest spider, I've got this thing chasing me, which is some kind of oil thing, and basically you kill this thing by throwing bleach at it, which I've just picked up. Zap, gone. Meanwhile, let's get rid of the spider while I'm at it as well, and we'll have a bit of a wander around this place. Somewhere in here I spotted earlier. Okay, those are the keys that I dropped earlier on. Seem to have misplaced the other thing that I was looking at. Worst demo ever. Oh, there's another bottomless pit. Interesting, where was that then? And here's that thing I was looking for. A ring, a magic ring of some description. So I'm just going to swap out my bucket of oil for the magic ring. And then let's just take a look at the overall world map. I think what this does is let you use these little things here. So hopefully if I find the corner of this purple castle that I'm in at the moment, I can zap across there and then make my way straight into Alcazar, which would be nice. The only question is, how on earth do I get out of this place in the top corner? Oh, okay. That's not the direction I wanted to go really. Let's carry on and see if I can find the direction I actually want to go in. Right, here's a flight of stairs, so I imagine it's going to be on the top floor. Who knows what else I might find in the meantime. Seemingly not much, except I don't want to get zapped somewhere else by running onto that big carpet. Right, this should be my way out. Okay, here we go. So hopefully, there we go. The magic carpet thing, or whatever it is, has sent me across there. And I've now got straight access into the Alcazar castle. On the ground floor, presumably, of the Alcazar castle. Let's see what we can find. Not much so far. It's the least well protected castle in the world thus far. Not quite what I was expecting. Ah, there's the old genie. Let's get rid of him before we go up these stairs. Well then, boyo, where are you? There you go. So there's another set of keys there to pick up. I don't know if there's any difference between the keys I've got and those keys. So let's pick them up. And let's go up to the next floor, see what we can find. Oh, well, here's what you use the keys for now. It's, funny enough, a door with a gate on it. So when you put the keys in your hand, you can walk through there. And, oh my god, genies galore. I think that's actually the throne there, which would be the game ended, but I've got more important things to worry about at the moment, as you've been pursued by lots of genies. Ah, okay, so the ring gets them, but I have lost a life there. So I managed to get rid of one of the genies by throwing my magic ring at him. Right, so I've got my bearings again, found the stairs again, so let's aim for that throne. There it is. Oh, don't seem to be able to activate it just yet for some reason. Is it because of that spider? Ah, there we go. And that rather flashing screen that you can see there basically denotes the end of the game. So I've completed it. So in terms of longevity, doesn't seem like it's got much. Quite a nice little game. graphics are not too bad. I haven't talked at all about the graphics or the sound. The sounds are very sort of functional apart from the music on the map screen. And the graphics are quite nice. Just nice little animated baddies and things to collect, and the overhead view of the castles and the map and everything. What I've come to realise about the game is, although on first sight with all the picking up items and so on, it looks as though it's an adventure game, the truth of it is, take a look at this little score down the corner here. It's actually really a high score type game, and completing the game isn't that difficult, especially on the easy level that I've been playing on. I only lost 1 life from enemies killing me and another life from falling down one of those pits. So if you ramp the difficulty up, it might become a bit more tricky, but really it's actually all about getting the best score you can at the point where you get the treasure. And of course you could also play it in a speed run kind of fashion of how quickly you could get the treasure. So while as an adventure game it doesn't necessarily seem to have that much life to it, as a high score or speed run challenge game it could actually be quite an interesting one. So all in all, not a bad re-release, and I think this would have been a £1.99 game, so I think easily worth the £1.99. Perhaps not the best looking game in the world, but certainly plays quite nicely and's got various ways of attempting to play it, I think. So yeah, not bad at all really.